3, 2, 1, liftoff. While everyone's been glued to the SpaceX privatization story, 3 publicly traded space companies are about to report earnings that could completely reshape the space investment landscape. I've spent the last month analyzing every contract, partnership, and technical milestone from RocketLab, ASTS Spacemobile, and Intuitive Machines. What I've uncovered isn't just another market prediction, it's a fundamental shift in space commercialization that most investors are completely missing. Before we dive in, a quick heads up. If you want to stay ahead of these space stock earnings, I've put together a complete earnings preview package over at earningswave.com. We're tracking every contract, partnership, and analyst estimate in real time. But for now, let's break down what our research team has uncovered about these 3 game-changing companies. RocketLab isn't just another launch company anymore, and if you're still thinking of them that way, you're missing the bigger picture. Let's talk about their NASA partnership first. The recent NASA VADR contract isn't just another $70 million deal. Here's what most analysts are missing. This contract essentially validates RocketLab for NASA's most critical science missions. With NASA's space science budget approaching $8 billion annually, we're looking at a potential market that's 10 times larger than their current launch revenue. But here's where it gets really interesting. While everyone's focused on launches, RocketLab has quietly built something much more valuable. Their space systems division now accounts for over 70% of their revenue. Think about that for a second. Through strategic acquisitions like Solero and Advanced Solutions, they've built a components powerhouse with margins that launch services can only dream of. We're talking about 65% plus margins on space components versus the typical 20 to 30% on launch services. This isn't just a side business anymore, it's the main event. This is exactly why we're seeing multiple analysts set price targets in the $8 to $10 range. With $420 million in cash and the Neutron rocket development on schedule, they're positioned to capture an even larger share of the commercial launch market without needing additional financing. Now let's talk about what might be the most ambitious company in the space sector, ASTS Spacemobile. They just achieved something remarkable. 4G LTE connections directly from space to regular smartphones. No special hardware, no modified phones, just the device in your pocket right now. Think about what that means. Potential connectivity for 5 billion mobile phones worldwide. We're looking at an addressable market north of $100 billion annually. Their recent FCC approval for US testing is more significant than most realize. This isn't just permission to test. It's a regulatory framework that could become the global standard for space-based cellular services. While competitors are still figuring out regulatory hurdles, ASTS Spacemobile is already setting the precedent. And then there's the $51 million ATAN-DT investment. But this isn't just about the money. ATAN-DT is actively working with AST's team on network integration. This is a major carrier essentially saying, we believe this technology works, and we want to be first in line. By the way, if you're wondering how we track all these partnerships and their impact on earnings, we've built a specialized space sector dashboard at earningswave.com. Our team analyzes every SEC filing, contract announcement, and technical milestone so you don't have to. Finally, let's talk about the company that just made history. Intuitive Machines became the first private company to successfully land on the moon. But the real story isn't just about one landing. They've built what I call a lunar rideshare model. Each mission can carry multiple commercial payloads with prices ranging from $1 million to over $100 million per payload. This means their revenue per mission could far exceed the base NASA contract values. With SpaceX focused on Mars and Blue Origin still developing their lander, Intuitive Machines has positioned itself as NASA's go-to lunar delivery provider. That first-mover advantage is significant. Their $155 million backlog isn't just NASA contracts, it includes commercial clients planning lunar missions for everything from research to marketing campaigns. We're seeing interest from international space agencies, private research institutions, and even companies exploring lunar mining possibilities. So, there you have it. 3 companies at the forefront of space commercialization, each approaching their upcoming earnings with significant momentum. Here's what our team at EarningsWave is watching closely. RocketLab's space systems revenue growth and Neutron development updates. ASTS Spacemobile's testing milestones and carrier partnership expansion. intuitive machines, backlog growth, and next mission details. The space economy is no longer about just launching rockets. It's about building the infrastructure for humanity's expansion into space, and these three companies are each playing a crucial role. If you want to get ahead of these earnings calls, head over to earningswave.com for our complete earnings season coverage. We're tracking every metric that matters and providing real-time updates as news breaks. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more earnings season deep dives. Drop a comment below with which company you think has the most potential, and I'll see you in the next video.